I'm about to make the 1/4 inch stems that we need for Garden Girl in Calico Gardens block, and I went ahead and, just like the other blocks, grabbed all of these and put them on a 24-inch mat, no certain order, and did a download already so that I can put them together in Brilliance Stitch Artist 2. But we also need these 1/4 inch bias strips to be able to add them into the embroidery design. So I'm just going through here and taking a look. You'll need to cut and prepare 2 1/4 inch straight bias strips. One of them is 4 inches long, and it says 4 inches long for her hat. Press each end under so it measures 3. Finished, and then press in half. So is that 1.5 inches? I don't know. I'm trying to figure that out myself. Yeah, I think it is about 1.5 inches. And it's so that the ends can tuck around on there. All right. So the trick is this one right here, this curved. Making those 1/4 inch bias strips are no problem, but it is this curved one that's the issue when you're working in canvas. So I want to show you how to make that. Yeah, it looks like here's a 1/4 inch, this is the 1/2 inch, this is a 1/2 inch, this is a 1/4 inch. And I think the easiest way to make this one is to just pull the hat in and then make it on it and then delete the hat. But let's go to Canvas Workspace. So to make that stem, the easiest way to do it is to recreate an existing curve. So I'm going to go into Basic over here for Basic Shapes. And I want to find a shape that's got a curve that is already something like the stem. And it looks like this one right here will work. So I'm going to grab this and drag it on. And then I'm going to rotate it. And it says it is 6 inches long. So I'm going to bring it in. And that changes the curve quite a bit. And then I'm going to make it longer. You can make the curve to whatever shape you want. So here is a 6 inch high, almost. It's 5.63. Let's go into the properties of it. Let's make it 6. Okay. So the easiest way to do this is not something that I've shown you guys before. Let me make this just a little bit bigger. I wish it would go like 75. There we go. All right, so right up here in the toolbar there is a path icon. You want to click that. So I'm going to use this curve as a pattern to draw a path. I'm going to click right down here at the bottom, and then I'm just going to follow along on the path. And it doesn't have to be perfect, but try to get it as straight as possible. No, Harley, it's not supper time. No. My dog's bugging me to be fed. Both of them are. Now, to make a shape, it has to be enclosed. You can't use the software to draw a line. It has to be an enclosed shape. So now let's come down like 1/4 inch, because we only need a 1/4 inch stem, and then just kind of mirror the shape all the way down. The more points you put, the better, more accurate it will be. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect, but it'll give you an idea of where exactly, you're quilters. You can make you can eyeball a 1/4 inch. We do it all the time. This is no different. Okay, I'm going to get down here to this bottom And then I'm going to come back on exactly on top of the one that I started with and click it. Okay, that creates the shape. So now I'm going to grab it and just move this one over, and we are left with a curved stem. Now, if you want to, if you're not happy with your shape, you can double click right on the shape and you'll get those little nodes back. And look up here, it says curve. It can be straight or curve, and you can add control points anywhere you want, or you can subtract control points, or you can delete control points. And it's very simple. You can just grab a node and just play with it just a tiny bit if you want to move it. It's going to stitch fairly straight, and I don't think you're going to notice that much of a big, jump, unless you've got some serious jagged points. I would try to leave it. So like this end right here is pretty obvious, and because it doesn't have anything covering it, but there's stuff covering this up here. So I'm happy with this just the way it is. Now I'm going to go ahead and come back, return to categories. I'm going to go to my projects. I want to bring in that hat because I want to see how long I need to make. I'm going to get more. I'm going to see how big I need to make that. Here it is right here. I'm going to pull this in. All right, let me grab this and pull it off, and I'll get my hat and pull it off. Let me go down to 50% and get rid of everything. Whoop, Control Z, didn't want to get rid of that. Just this. Didn't mean to do that. Okay, so now I need to make the little brim on the little ribbon on the hat. And to do that, I'm going to return to categories. I'm going to come back to basic, and I want to get this little narrow rectangle and pull it in. And then up here in the properties box, I don't want to maintain the aspect ratio. I'm going to turn that off, and I'm going to turn this a 0.25. It needs to be 1/4 of an inch wide. Okay. And I'm just going to bring it up here. I'm going to get real big so I can see what's going on and bring this down. There. I'm going to set the bottom of it at the corners of the hat. Now I'm going to double click on these on the shape to get the control points again. Not that one. That's not what I want. This one. And I'm just going to take these, and I'm just going to move it in just a little bit and make it so that it fits the hat exactly like I want it to. There, that looks great. Oh, I see. Maybe I need to move this one up. There we go. That looks really good. Okay, so here's the hat. There is the piece for the ribbon around the hat, and look how perfect that's going to fit. But what this tells me is that this guy is wider, I think, than 1/4 of an inch. I will play around with this and straighten it out and get it into a better shape, but that's how you do that. Okay, so here's the curved stem. This is the hat band or hat ribbon. I'm going to delete the hat, and I'm going to come back up here to the blog, and it says a 4-inch long piece that measures 2 3/4 after both ends are pressed under. So 2 3/4, I'm going to grab that small rectangle again. I'm just going to go into the properties, make sure maintain aspect ratio is not checked, and it's going to be 0.25 and 2.75, and hit enter. There we go. So there is the watering can, I think, or maybe that's her apron. And I need to cut and prepare 2. one that is 4 inches long for her apron waistband, and one that is 4 inches long for the bottom stripe on the watering can. Oh, these are 1/2 inch. My apologies. Let's go back in here. I need to edit this to 0.5. And we need 2 of these. So right click and duplicate. And this one needs to be 4 inches long. 4.0. There we go. Okay. So there's that one. I want that to be like, will be 180. All right, that gets those straight. And what else do we need to do? Cut and prepare 2 1/4 inch straight bias strips. Watering can stripe. I need another 1/4 inch that is 4 inches long. And I'm just gonna grab, we'll just duplicate. And this is going to be 0.25 and 4.0. There we go. Okay. So here's our 2 1/4 inch pieces. Here's our 2 1/2 inch pieces. These are different fabrics. So we have our stems. So I'll call it Garden Girl dash bias strips. All right. And I will go to project and inbox with a plus sign. Great. Okay. So now I can download this, and I want to download to my PC. For right now, I will cut these later. I'm not going to do a video on how to cut them because you guys have seen that before. I just wanted to show you this piece of it because there was some confusion about how to create that curve in Canvas, but everything else is pretty straightforward and stitches out exactly like the other blocks we have done.